Hi, how are you? You've probably heard that question maybe several times today. But where do you look to find the answer? Where do you look to find out how you are, how well you're doing? Do you look to your emotions? That can be an interesting place to look. You might be feeling on the top of the world, really joyful, looking forward to something, having just succeeded at something. Or you might have a low mood. You might be feeling a failure. You might be feeling inadequate when you compare yourself with your neighbor or your friend. You might have a hard time really feeling worthy and valuable. We call that low self-esteem. But what if looking to our feelings to find out how we're doing as a measurement of how well we are, looking to our feelings is not the place to look for the truth? What if our feelings and emotions are not a compass that leads us to the truth? I'm going to invite you to consider this idea and explore it. Emotions are what bring nuance and texture and wonder to our daily life experience. Without emotions and a full range of emotions, we wouldn't be able to enjoy a sunset at the end of the day, a gripping movie, drama, a compelling story that we're reading. We wouldn't feel a depth of connection and love with our loved ones, with our elders. Emotions are an amazing capacity, if you like, of the human experience that gives texture and depth and nuance to daily life. But do they tell us how well we're doing? Let's question that. As a metaphor for this exploration, I'd like you to consider that your true nature, my true nature, our true nature is like the sky, always light-filled. Even if the sky is completely covered over with winter grey clouds, behind those clouds, the sun light is shining, the sky is as light blue as ever. What we are, our true nature, our true self, is like the sky, always shining, always alive, always vital, always shining as fresh potential. And what if our emotions are like clouds in the sky, all sorts and shapes and sizes, and various hues of color from bright white to dark gray and black, thunderclouds to fluffy clouds? What if our emotions are like the clouds in the sky? Notice that the sky does not have any issue with any cloud, whether it's a white and fluffy cloud or a dark, thunderous thundercloud. The sky doesn't have an issue. The sky doesn't try to get rid of thunderclouds. The sky doesn't start fighting with, try to push away, suppress or deny or change a thundercloud or any cloud. The sky doesn't try to cling on to white fluffy clouds. The sky is not disturbed, perturbed, diminished, broken by any cloud. You see the power in that? The sky is imperturbable. It cannot be disturbed. It cannot be anything but always shining, always open, always the full power of potential, shining, available. That's what we are. That's what our nature is. That's what our true nature is. Our true nature, our true self, is not disturbed, thrown off track, mistaken for a cloud. When there is a cloud in the sky, when there's an emotion of low mood, when there's an emotion of failure, when there's an emotion of unworthiness, when we are rooted in and as our true nature, we don't mistake the emotion for ourselves. We don't identify with the emotion. There can be an awareness of a low mood. There can be an awareness of a low energy. There can be an awareness of grief and sadness and depression. And yet, in that awareness, simultaneously, where there is not an identification with that emotion, where that emotion of depression or low mood is not taken to be proof of how well we're doing, then there's simply an openness to the emotion. It's not something to fear. It's not something to fight with. It's not something to identify with and collapse into and feel defined by and labeled by and stigmatized by. There's simply an openness to that vibration in the emotional field, the presence of that cloud in the sky, if you like. And there is a rootedness in being what is unbreakable. There is a rootedness in what is constant, and that's our true nature. And that's what shines. That's what is the light in our eyes. That's what is our vitality. And that is unchangeable. No cloud in the sky, no emotion can diminish that experience of our true nature. So how can we bring this home in daily life when there is a sense in the feeling of how we feel, in the emotion of our emotional life, one of a low mood, of depression, of a sense of failure? We remain as the sky when we simply open to these emotions. We don't make them wrong. We don't start fighting with them. We don't take them as proof that we're not doing well. We open to them. We feel what we feel without taking the feeling as proof that this is how we're doing. We can open with a simple question. Could I be okay feeling uncomfortable for 1 second? And there we're in curiosity mode. There we're in pure openness and exploration. There we're living in the possibility that it is perfectly possible, absolutely possible, to be absolutely okay, shining like the sky, even if there is a sensation or a current that we're experiencing that seems to be less than a light shiningness, seems to be less than expansiveness. Even if there is a sensation, an emotion that the mind wants to label as depression, as proof of failure, it's possible to remain rooted and undisturbed and in an undeniable experience of okayness. And that's no small thing, to feel okay, to feel this constancy, this steadiness, this ease, this okayness that is undeniable, undisturbable. It's what the mystic Julian of Norwich described as the feeling that all is well. All is well. No matter what, all is well. It's possible to know our true nature. So let's have an experiment. I encourage you to experiment this week, to not look to your emotions to be the compass that tells you how you're doing. Instead, open to your feelings. Open into your feelings. Find, just as you open to a cloud and keep opening and entering into the cloud, you find there's nothing solid in a cloud. It's water vapor. It's water vapor. And if you keep opening and opening into the cloud, then on the other side of the cloud, it's a shining blue sky that never went away, that only was temporarily obscured by getting caught up in the cloud. So open to your true nature and this undeniable blue sky of your being, the light and the shininess of consciousness becomes your compass. And just a glimpse of this compass and a returning to sensing this compass and tuning into it, realize your whole life profoundly to be grounded in the truth of your being, the happiness and the love and the happiness and the peace and the love that you are. See you soon.